Well, the new tank arrived. Didn't have half the equipment they promised. Not surprised. That's fine. I did whittle down the price, so I guess they took shit away. They showed me a picture when they advertised it, and it had a fishy in it. So I guess I'll show you that. But first, I brought the discus back upstairs. After doing maintenance yesterday and a few times last week, I'm realizing no matter the size volume, I'm going to have to do a lot of water maintenance anyway. I was hoping size volume was going to reduce that, but when it will with other fish, but it won't with these guys. So I'll be doing huge water changes that take a very long time, and I'd rather do that in a tank no bigger than probably a 90 gallon, because then it can get done in a reasonable amount of time, and the tank's large enough to hold a good deal of discus. So that's probably what how I'm gonna handle that. 90 gallons in sumps, that sort of thing. So that big huge system I made, I decided, well, I'll just put my Oscar up in the top tank and regain that 65 gallon from the Oscar so that I can use it for like larger size discus fry, like the 3-4 inch ones. And then this 60 gallon, that's why I went looking for a tank, because I was like, I'm gonna need another tank then, because I need a tank for small fry, like the ones that I just take away from their parents. So I decided on a 60 gallon. So then I found this 60 gallon for sale, but it was for sale with the fish that were in it. And it's exactly the size 60 gallon I need. And one of the fishes just so happened to be an Oscar and a pleco and a knife fish. And they showed a picture. So, and they said he was like over a year old, the Oscar. So I didn't think he was like, anyway, let me show you what's going on. Okay, so keep in mind, we're looking at a 60 gallon tall tank. So, you know, this is, I know this tank because it's the same tank as my 90 gallon, but instead of it being, you know, it's a third shorter. So it's a 60 gallon, same dimensions. Just a little, not as long, not 4 feet long. It's probably like 2.5, 3 feet long. Probably 2.5, I don't know, I haven't tried it. It's more like a square. And so this is the fish. Oh yeah, he's a year old. So I'm like, well, you know, he's not a huge one for a year old. Maybe I can deal with him, because they were stuck, and basically they have to move in like a day, and they can't take the fish with them. And they say he's come with a pleco, which I didn't get to see. Well, let's go have a look. So this is the tank I had my Mr. Oscar in, and I decided to move him away because I'm gonna reconfigure this to hold younger discus, and I'm gonna put the other 60 gallon right here. It's gonna fit nicely right there. Okay, so I moved Mr. Oscar up here, and his silver dollars. It's a bigger tank this way, and although it's a 75 gallon tank, you know, it's just gonna be him and his silver dollars, and it's connected to 260 plus gallons of water. So although, you know, he's only got a 75 gallon tank, I'm thinking, wow, no problem, you know, just him. He should have plenty of room for just one Oscar. And I guess it is, considering the Oscar that just arrived here. Spent his whole life in a 60 gallon, not long, tall aquarium with a pleco and a knife fish. Do I think they're a year old? No. I think they just wanted me to think he was. So we're going to show you now. He got a little damaged because they put him in a bucket, 5 gallon bucket, and he's way too big for a 5 gallon bucket. Look at him by that heater. Like, he is freaking huge. There's a sponge filter. You know, everyone knows how big those sponge filters are. Those little 2 guys. Look at the size of them. He's a little damaged up the side there. Look at the pleco. Pleco's just as bad. I hate Plecos. I didn't want a Pleco. They just had a second bucket. I thought I was getting an Oscar. I got a second bucket with fish and this knife fish. And he's got to be a foot long. So, what a beast. That's a 75-gallon, 4-foot aquarium. And thank God he's not in the little 60-gallon. Little 60 gallons like this, like, and a little taller. And he was in there all his life. So now he gets at least a 75-gallon, and he breathes air like he lives in a 260+ gallon tank. So from that point of view, he'll be living a better life. I hope he's fully grown. Please tell me he's fully grown. But yeah, 3 huge fish in a tiny, tiny little tank. Let me go show you. You know, I mean, I'm glad I took him because of what he was dealing with, but like, I'm in awe at the size. He's got to be every bit of 18, 19 inches, that fish. Most of 2 foot. So this is the tank he lived in. My room temperature is 82 degrees. It is warm here today. It smells like a swamp. Like I've got to empty this gravel out, take it outside, and completely flush it because it's just months and months and months of nothing done to it. So, I mean, I'm happy to have the equipment. I'm happy to have the fish. I'm glad I have the fish, to be honest, because this will never, ever happen to it again. I think I need some 6-foot tanks, though. At least one for him. I'll find me a drilled 6-foot tank along the way and just make things a little bit better than they are. But for now, he'll be thinking he took a step up in the world. Look at that. He is like this long in this tank. Like tail to the wall. Isn't that amazing? And then they got like a foot long knife fish, nearly as big as them. And then they got monster pleco, who I'm going to try and give away to someone because I hate plecos. Probably going to send the knife fish on his way too, if I can find a home for him. And we'll get this cleaned up. Let's look at something pretty after seeing that. Here we go. Sorry, folks. I know that was hard to look at. But we're going to make things better. I have one more look at him downstairs. So his fins and his side definitely got beat up pretty good. And that's, they just didn't do a very good job loading him, I guess. But he was fighting like mad too, so you can imagine something this big not wanting to be taken out of his little 60-gallon tank that he's been in his whole life. Can you imagine? And it kept growing. It's even got good form, I'd think. Like they fed him okay. I wouldn't say anything's wrong with how he was fed. Just they needed to get a bigger tank, I guess. But oh well. I mean, I need a bigger tank, but he's gonna do okay here. He'll be okay. He's gonna be the only thing in there. That pleco's gonna go bye-bye, and I'll think about the knife fish. But he just looks like he hides all the time. So, of course, he just got here and he's probably scared. I hate plecos. I absolutely hate plecos. Look at that thing. Just God. I love Oscars, and we'll figure out a good name for him, and we'll make sure he's going to enjoy the fruits of clean water for the rest of his life. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.